All right, folks, we're in lesson 3, chapter 11, titled Measures of Variation. Measures of Variation. Good lesson, more statistical data. Could be difficult. You got to be super organized here, and I'll pull that down. Sorry, let me do that maybe. That'll help you here. But we're going to do a little bit of reading here, and we're going to slow down here. So, measures of variation are used to describe the distribution or spread of data. They describe how values of the data set vary in a single number. A quartile is one measure of variation. Okay, so let's flip the page here and talk about this. Quartiles. All right. Quartiles are values that divide a data set up. Okay, we're going to kind of refer to this down here. Here's our data set, least to greatest. The first and the third quartiles are the medians of the bottom and the medians of the top half. Okay. The IQR, or interquartile range, is the distance between these two, the difference. So we're going to subtract these two. And then the range would be the big minus the small. You're going to need scratch paper for this to stay organized, okay? So let's get into it. It's a good one. Here we go. All right, I'm going to pull out some scratch paper. Number 1. The average wind speeds for several cities in Pennsylvania are given. Find the range. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get organized. Least to greatest. Least to greatest. Now, 7.5. Okay. 7.6. Okay. And I hope you're doing this with me. 7.7. 8.9. 9.0. 9.5. And 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. First one up is the range. Okay. And to find the range, we're going to take the biggest number and we're going to subtract the smallest number from it. And you can certainly use your calculator. All right. And, again, make sure that you're following along here. 11 minus 7 and 5/10 is 3 and 5/10. So that range of the data is 3 and 5/10. That means from here to here is 3 and 5/10 because big minus small. Find the median in the first and third quartiles. Okay, so let's start with the median. We're least to greatest. Let's find that middle number, and there it is. So the median is 8 and 9/10. Now, to find the first quartile, we come off the median and start here and go back to the smallest number. And we find the median of this bottom half, which is right here. And the first is 7 and 6/10. To find the third quartile, I'm going to kind of separate these. We find the median of the top half. We don't use the median, we come to the right. And there it is. 9 and 5/10. Okay. First, median, third. First, second, and third quartile. Think of it. We split it up into 4 groups. Think of it that way, right? Okay. The interquartile range, or what we call IQR, is the third quartile minus the first quartile. This minus this is 1 and 9/10. Boom. And then, just like in lesson 2, we talked about outliers. Is there any number that doesn't really fit in there? No, this is a nice, tight cluster of data. So the answer is no. An outlier might be, let's say, 21, 32, 100, maybe 1, 0, something that doesn't something that's going to skew your data, right? Okay. That was number one. Number two, here we go. All right, well, looks like we got a little room here. The heights of the several types of palm trees are all these numbers. The heights of the pines, compare and contrast the measures of variation for both kinds. Okay. So I'm going to actually go back to the papers. I think I can do it right there. I'm going to organize, all right, palm trees. All right. Smallest 25, 15, 25, 22. See, we got to get organized. It takes time. 30, 40, and 50. Okay, I'm going to skip a line. I'm going to go ahead and get organized with my pine trees. Pines are 45, 60, 70, 75, 75, and 80. Okay. All right, we need the measures of variation. So we start with the median. All right. Uh-oh, we have two of them. So we're going to have to add these up and divide by 2. Okay. So when we do that, let's go ahead and do that, right? Take, excuse me, 25 plus 30 equals 55 divided by 2 is 27.5. So that's our median. Okay. Now, we have to find the first and third quartiles of the palm. Okay. All right. So let's go to that. I don't use this, but I am going to use that. The first quartile was 22, and the third quartile was 40, right? So here's the first, here's the third. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is find the interquartile range because the measures of variation include the first, the median, the third, and the IQR. So to get the IQR, I take 40 minus 22, and 40 minus 22, I believe, is 18, and 18 is our IQR. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. Find the median. There's two numbers, right? If we add those two up, all right, and we divide by 2, we're going to get 72 and 5/10. That's our median. Now we come here. Here's our first quartile. Now we go to 75. That's the middle of the top half. That's our third quartile. And then we go to IQR. 75 minus 60 is 15, and that's our IQR for the palm. Okay, so if we were to look at this data and compare it, all right, we look at the spread of the data. The range is a little bit different. The difference between these two is very similar to the IQR. All right, so the data sets are pretty similar in spread. Okay, okay. Let's jump to the next one here and move on. Let's try and do one more here together. We'll do number 1. Okay. So it says the table shows the golf courses in various states. Let's get after it. Here we go. All right, 456, 437 looks to be the smallest. I'm going to have to go back to the paper. I can't. It's just too many numbers there for me. All right, 437, 456, 513. Let's see here, 650. Yep. 893. 954. 1018. 1038. 1117 and 1465. A lot of work here. Okay, first up is the range. Range is big minus small. 1465 minus 437. And when we do that, we get 1028. Calculator will tell you that. Median, the first and the third quartiles. Here we go. Let's go to the median. We got two of them. Add these two up. Divide by 2. Okay. And what do we end up getting here? I think we're going to end up getting 923 and 5/10. Okay. I don't use the median, but I do use the numbers that made that median. So I'm going to come up, go here, here, and there. There's my first quartile of 513. Here's my third quartile of 1038. What's the IQR, it says? All right, I'm not going to write those down. They will go there. The IQR is the third minus the first, which is 525. Are there any outliers? Are there any numbers that really don't fit into this data set? No. This doesn't, this is a borderline outlier, but really it's not that far away. It's only 300 or so away. So it's not too bad at all. All right. So I'm going to say no to the outliers. The IQR was 525. This was 513, 923.5, and 1038. Okay. All right. You're probably going to have to refer back to the Schoology page to see what numbers to do. I haven't decided that yet. So have a good day, guys. I hope that helps. Bye-bye.